Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So this is a little bit of an impromptu watch that I ended up purchasing. It's a watch that's been on my radar for some time. It's the Tisell. This is the Marine Diver. They also do an Explorer homage that I do like the look of, and at some point if they do come on eBay, I'll probably pick one of them up as well. This came up on eBay. There's certain brands, I don't know if other people are the same, that I do look up on eBay. I type in quite regularly just to see if anyone's posted anything. I typed in Tisell. This came up. The condition was nice, good price. So I thought, let's have a look. This was one of the divers that I became aware of, sort of the Subby homage divers that was doing the rounds a while ago. That was sort of like the first real affordable, because I know Steinhardt and stuff. Yeah, they offer ones a little bit more expensive, but this them and Phoebus. I think it was the PY007. These were the ones that they brought out, Tisell and Phoebus, and everyone was raving about them. It's my first Tisell on the channel. I'm sure it won't be the last, or Tisell, whatever you want to pronounce it. I'm sure I'm going to get slated. But like I said, this is quite cool because it's a no date variant of the Subby homage, of the Subby that they've homaged even. And there's no ghost position. They've used a high beat movement. It's got sapphire crystal. And the aesthetic is very similar as the Rolex Subby. So yeah, it's a lot to take in for me, because the last one I had that was similar in the terms of the aesthetic was the Chronos, and I wasn't bowled over by it. I know it was an unpopular unpopular decision by me, but I can only keep it real. I wasn't as blown away by that watch as some were. Would this one be better? I suppose there's no time like the present to have a look. So guys and girls, thanks for tuning back in. I do appreciate all your support. And without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Alright guys, so this is the watch. As you can see, it's the Tisell. Comes in a pretty standard packaging, which is actually quite nice actually. Nice leatherette style. Let me just open it up. And then you can see the watch. A nice sort of velvety style pillow. Inside, again matching the inside how it feels. A couple of links taken out for it to fit my 7-inch wrist, or just above 7-inch wrist. And this is the no date variant. Yeah, I saw it come up on eBay. It's a watch that I've wanted to sort of get in and review for a while, because like I said in the intro as well, the Tisell was like a watch that became, or a brand that became quite popular because of their Subby homages and stuff they were doing, and also the Explorer homage, which is a watch that I wouldn't mind getting in the future. But yeah, this is the no date variant. It's called the Marine Diver. Inside it's running a Miyota NOS5 or N0S5. I'll bring some information up about that movement now actually, so you can have a look. High beat movement from Miyota again, and obviously it's a no date variant, which is pretty cool, the fact that they've gone for that. At the time of recording this, I wasn't completely sure about the difference between this and the 9039. Both high beat Miyota movements with no dates. But yeah, I do like Miyota. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I've mentioned many times that I'm really happy to get the high beat Miyota movements in my watches, and this is no different really. So yeah, cool movement. The construction of this watch predominantly is stainless steel, to be honest. Excuse my fingerprints. So that's the case, bezel aside from the insert, crown, case back, which is solid, bracelet, and fully milled clasp, all 316L stainless steel. Mixture of brushing and polishing. The tops of the bracelet is brushed, as is the clasp, polished at the sides, and that kind of continues with the watch. The case itself, brushed on the tops, polished at the sides, and the case back is sort of circular brushing in the middle, a little polished edge going around. But yeah, so 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of this watch is 12.9 millimeters. The case diameter I measured from the 8 to the 2. The bezel does overhang a little bit, so what I was getting was 40.8 millimeters when you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown. Obviously I've unscrewed it, but when it's screwed up it's 44.7 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 16 and back up to 18 millimeters at the clasp, and the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 47.7 millimeters. That does become 53.6 millimeters, given the fact they're quite long metal end links to the center link. So just bear that in mind. But again, it is quite in keeping with the watch. It's homaging in terms of the Subby. Looking up quite a few of these, that they do have these end links, so much of a muchness really. The case back, as I already started to show you, let me just open it up and give you a proper look. It's a screw down case back, sterile, and that's what it looks like. Again, apologies for my fingerprints, guys, and also if you can hear my fan, it's quite warm, so I'm doing what I can. The bezel, a bit unusual really. The bezel is a 96 click unidirectional bezel, so unusual amount of clicks. I'll let you listen to the clicks. A bit ratchety sounding, not bad, consistent, no real bounce, no back play. Lines up nice enough, but 96 is a new one on me, I'm not going to lie. The crown is situated at the 3 o'clock. It is a screw down crown. It's signed with the T. I might as well just turn that around, given it's not screwed down at the moment. It's signed with the T, just let you have a look at that. Good size crown, no problems with the engagement, and like I said, screw down situated at 3 o'clock. The bracelet, as I've already mentioned, is yeah, nicely done actually. It's one link made to look like 3. As I said, tapers down nicely. Screw pins at the sides, as you can see. They do sort of sit into the case a little bit, which is quite nice, or the side of the link, excuse me. And the clasp is fully milled, very much again in keeping with the watch's homaging. Polished inside, brush at the top on the sides, and it does have the glide adjustment, so you can sort of adjust it on the fly if you wish, giving you quite a bit of room actually. And I've had no problems with using it actually. Very smooth. Yeah, nice little bit of kit on the clasp. The crystal covering that dial is a sapphire crystal. I tested it, and the no date just looks very clean, doesn't it? I must admit, I do. The no date, especially because of the Cyclops. I'm not a massive fan of Cyclopses, just because oftentimes they don't work very well and they miss the line. So no date is nice, and it is sapphire crystal, as I say. The water resistance, you'll be able to see if I pull it out to sort of where I normally do, is 200 meters. So that would give the watch 200 meters. That's 20 atmospheres of water resistance. And the weight will appear in the top right on corner. It's about 146 grams with 2 links taken out. So with the 2 links back in, you're looking at sort of 150-ish grams, which is pretty much bang on what most people would like their watch, or the proportions of this watch to weigh. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So you got a rehaut, not signed like you get on obviously Rolexes, and Heimdallr did it where they started signing the rehaut, but nothing like that. You've got a minute track going around the outer edge. Inside there you've got applied battens, inverted triangle and circular indices everywhere. So you've got the inverted triangle at the 12, circular battens everywhere except for the 3, 6 and 9 where you've got rectangular battens. You've got the hands, they're done nicely. Everything's high polished in terms of the hands and indices, and the loom isn't too bad. I'll bring that up now. As you'll see from the footage, it's better on the hands and indices than it is on the loom pip. The loom pip tends to disappear somewhat. I'm not sure what's going on with that in terms of the loom, but there we are. Aside from the indices, everything else is printed on. So that's Tisell automatic just below the indices at the 12 o'clock, and marine diver water resistant 660 feet 200 meters just above the indices at the 6. All that is printed on, not applied, which is either going to bother you or it isn't. It doesn't really impact me in any way. As I said, Miyota 90 S5 movement. You take it out, only one position given the fact it's a no date movement. Put it back in, it will start back up. Hand wind it. I'll let you listen to that as well. Nice and smooth. This one's running sort of 2 seconds fast a day as well. Bang on. And as I say, take it out a hack, put it back in, it will start up. Pretty straightforward given the fact there's no date complications as well. But yeah, that's the watch, guys. That's the dial. Nice sort of piano black dial. And like I said, everything's just, the proportions are nice. And as I say, no points for originality, but this is the watch. But let me just pop on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference. As you saw at the start, I did take 2 links out for it to fit my wrist. It does fit okay. I didn't know if I'd messed about with the micro adjustment too much and it wasn't going to fit, but that's what it looks like on my wrist, just to give you an idea. Yeah, nice. The no date is clean, isn't it? It does look so much cleaner than the one with the Cyclops. I do like a date on my watch, but yeah, I'm not decided on what I prefer. But yeah, that's the watch, guys. That's the wrist shot. You've had all the specs at this point, and then as you know, if you've ever watched my channel before, this is the part where we start getting in with the nitty gritty in terms of the things I think are pants and Pukka. I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with Pukka. So what I think is pants. Obviously, I'm only talking for this watch, but I don't know if you guys will be able to see it on camera. I'll do my best for you. So here, there's a gap in that link. So you'll see it. Yeah, you probably can make that out now. Strange. I did buy this second hand. No other link's got it apart from that one, so it's strange. I've tried pushing it together to see if it will reseal, but it's not. So yeah, a little bit of a pronounced gap in that link. I'm not sure if that's how it came or what, but that's how I've received it, so I do need to mention it. The bezel, in terms of the amount of clicks, a 96 click bezel. Never heard of it in my life. Please answer on a postcard if you've had one before. Please let me know what you think. And probably unsurprisingly, the loom pip, in terms of the loom being quite a substandard there. So they're the three things I'd mention for what I think are pants. As I go with the link in terms of the QC problem, the bezel with the amount of clicks, and the loom pip being virtually non-existent. What I think is Pukka is the dial's very clean. As I say, I do like the dial. I think it's really nice in terms of just looks nice, and I'm gonna say again, clean, very nice. No date, which is also coupled with the fact they've used a no date movement. So yeah, I do like the no date look, and the fact they've used a movement that represents the fact that it doesn't have a date on the dial. The bezel, aside from the random clicks, and some people are not going to like it because it's a bit ratchety, but it's quite positive. The clicks are all very positive, not really pitchy. They sound all the same and lines up nicely. So the bezel, I've had much worse bezels. The clasp, the main thing I like about the clasp, again, no points for originality, but that sort of on the fly adjustment is very nice. Yeah, I can see why lots of people do like having that. I don't really use it in the time I've been wearing this watch. It does feel a bit of a novelty, but it's quite nice to have it anyway. The crown is a lovely size. It sort of sits into the case a little bit, but yeah, really nice size, really nice knurling on it. Positive engagement in terms of screwing it up and unscrewing it. Yeah, really nice crown. And the fit and finish generally, in terms of the brushing, the polishing, that link is unfortunate, but excuse me, that link, but I think that's just could be a fact that I've got it as a second-hand watch, or just a bit unfortunate. But generally, the brushing, the polishing of this watch is very nice, and I can't grumble too much for what I paid for it generally. But let's just go over what I think is Pukka. Is I'd go with the dial, I go with the fact there's no date plus the movement. The bezel, the clasp, the crown, and the fit and finish are what I think are Pukka. And would I recommend a watch? I most definitely would. I'll leave a link taking you to the Tisell website. There's also another one, a Korean website. I'll leave a link for that as well. As I say, I bought this on eBay, so you can always try typing Tisell on eBay. I do randomly do certain searches on eBay for watches that I quite like to see what comes up. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care guys, all the very best.